Welcome. In this portion, we're going to look at raising an exception. There is this statement called raise, which allows the programmer to force a specified exception to occur. Sometimes you use this to actually bring it to your own attention. It's kind of like for debugging purpose. So when you actually have a raised error, hi there, okay, so it will print hi there. So you are the one that actually specify what kind of output you want to receive so that it helps you to diagnose where the problem lies. So you're going to try raising a name error, except name error will print an exception flew by. So what you have here is that the moment that the raised name error is executed, the except will not be actually executed. So that's where you actually get this name error. Hi there, it's exactly the same as that. So just be mindful of that kind of behavior. Now let's move on to try or defining cleaning up actions. The try statement has another optional clause which is intended to define cleanup actions that must be executed under all circumstances. For example, you have try, raise a keyboard interrupt, and then there is this finally. Okay, finally is basically is the last action that you will actually execute. Okay, so it still have goodbye world despite having a keyboard interrupt error being raised here. A finally clause is always executed before leaving the try statement. So that's the key part of this behavior, whether an exception has occurred or not. When an exception has occurred in the try clause and has not been handled by the except clause, it is re-raised after the finally clause has been executed. The finally clause is also executed on the way out. Okay, when any other clause of the try statement is left via a break, continue, or return statement. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, we have defined a function called divide, x by y. So you try the results x divided by y. If it's division by 0, then you will print division by 0. Otherwise, print the result. And finally, when it's all done, when you actually want to stop, it will have the executing final clause. This is to tell you kind of like a bye-bye. So 2, 1, okay, that you have running in this line of code because there's no error being raised. It print the last line as well, the finally clause. And what happens if it's division by 0? You'll get it will get caught by this except 0 division error, and then it will print this line. And then after it's done executed, on the way out, it will print executing finally clause. Okay, and what happens if you actually have string divided by string? Well, the thing is that we don't actually have so-called a handler for that situation where it's called type error. But on the way out, it will still print the finally clause. As you can see, the finally clause is executed in any events. Okay, the type error raised by dividing 2 strings is not handled by the except clause and therefore re-raised after the finally clause has been executed. In real-world applications, the finally clause is useful for releasing external resources such as files or network connections, regardless of whether the use of the resource was actually successful or not. So that's really the end of this really quick tour on errors and exceptions. It's really designed to bring it to your awareness of the possibility of handling exceptions. Not so much syntax error, but more so for exceptions. I hope you found that useful. Thank you for watching.